painful. William Butler Yeats, one of the great poets in the English language, who comes out of the Irish struggle against British imperialism, used to say that it takes more courage to examine yourself and take seriously the dark corners of your own soul than it does for a soldier to fight on the battlefield. Courage to think critically. Courage to interrogate yourself. Wrestle with yourself. Try to better yourself by, in fact, being honest and candid about yourself. And that's why Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy as an intellectual has much to do with the mission of this grand university. This university is about what? In part, what the Greeks call paideia, P-A-I-D-E-I-A. P-A-I-D-E-I-A. Paideia is deep education. I didn't say schooling. Kanye West makes that distinction, doesn't he, on his first CD? I want to be educated. I don't just want to be schooled. Get a degree, that's beautiful, that's wonderful. But deep education has to do first with the formation of attention. What are you attending to? Tell me what you attend to, and I'll tell you who you are. Of course, there's no young folk here who's attending to the G-string and bling-bling. That's for other young folks somewhere else. I know that. But if you're attending the G-string and bling-bling, it's clear that you're wrestling with superficiality and the surfaces of life. You're not dealing with the depth. You're not dealing with substance. You're not dealing with life and death and joy and sorrow. In fact, that Greek line in Plato's Apology, 38:8, the unexamined life is not worth living. It actually says the unexamined life is not a life of the human. Now, our English word human derives from the Latin humando, and humando means burying. That's where humility comes from, and humanity comes from. The fact that we are fetterless, two-legged, linguistically conscious creatures born between urine and feces. That's us. I can put on a three-piece suit if I want to and think highly of myself. What an illusion. Wasn't for my mother's love push out of her womb, I wouldn't be here. And my body will one day be the culinary delight of terrestrial worms very soon unless I opt for cremation. That's serious, isn't it? I know you're worried about your exams, what you're reading tonight. No. You are being toward death. And there's no way out. There's a death sentence in time and space. No one gets out of time and space alive. And that fundamental question, what does it mean to be human, has to do with what kind of human being will you choose to be. Will it be superficial? Will it be substantial? Will it be frivolous? Will it be serious? Paideia says you're going to focus on those issues that force you to grapple with what it means to be human. That's Brother Martin. 39 short years. 26 years old, he's already head of a movement. The next 13, every day the FBI will be on him like white on rice. Under surveillance. Serious. What is your conception of truth? What is your conception of justice? What is your conception of beauty? What is your conception of the good? And it's up to you to choose. Not a question of color, culture, gender, sexual orientation. It's a question of being a particular kind of human being with a culture and a gender and a sexual orientation and part of a nation. That's a frightening question. Martin Luther King Jr. wrestled with what it means to be human in terms of learning how to die in order to live more critically, Socratically, abundantly, to invoke the biblical category. You say, well, Brother West, what do you mean learning how to die? Martin Luther King Jr. believes he or she who learns how to die unlearns slavery. Because learning how to die has to do with criticizing yourself in such a way that your prejudices and your unjustified presuppositions are examined, and oftentimes you have to let them go. As James Brown would say, give it up, turn it loose. And anytime you let a prejudice go, let an assumption go, give up a presupposition, something in you is dying so that you can be reborn into something better. The paideia, the formation of attention, has to do with examining yourself and ensuring that those things in yourself that need to die are crushed so that you can become mature. I know the wonderful students here at Georgia Southern have these wonderful experiences of leaving the classroom. You just read Shakespeare's Hamlet, you just read Toni Morrison's Beloved, you just read Thomas Pynchon's Gravity's Rainbow, whatever text it is. And you recognize that your worldview rests on pudding. Any students had that experience? It's just sheer intellectual dizziness. That your whole view of the world just been called into quest. Kind of existential vertigo. A disturbance at the core of who you are. And for Martin Luther King Jr., he knew that a major dogma or unjustified assumption of America as a nation was a lie called white supremacy that had become institutionalized, codified, and legalized in such a way that the country itself, in a state of denial, was living a lie or predicated in part on that lie. And that white supremacy had to be attacked. It had to die in order for American democracy to truly live. And that's true for any form of dehumanization. Male supremacy, imperial identity, thinking that somehow an American baby has more value than a baby in Brazil, a China, a Ethiopia, a Taiwan. It could be a patriarchal sensibility, thinking that somehow the minority of humankind, namely brothers of all colors, have some higher status than the majority of humankind, sisters